Hello, friends. It's getting more interesting. It's getting more depressing. It's getting more ominous. It's getting more prophetic. And therefore, as a born-again Christian, it's getting more exciting. So I'll finish on a high note. I know in our American culture, we're real big on being positive, even if that means dispensing with the truth, which is usually the case. At any rate, the truth, the real truth, biblical truth, is the most positive, quote unquote, thing in the world. But as everybody knows, there's not a battery that I'm aware of, unless it's a Tesla battery or something, that does not have a negative post and a positive post, and you need both to keep the current running, okay, to enable it to flow and do its work, okay? So biblical truth is negative and positive, both, just like a battery. And what people want to do is just try to get juice from a positive terminal of the battery, and they're not hooked up to the negative side, so the juice doesn't flow, and they die on the vine, and they end up starting emerging churches and having a lot of coffee and desserts and hip clothing and probably some tattoos to spice things up a little bit, and think they're really doing the Lord's work and are really relevant and connected. And of course, nothing could be further from the truth. That's really not what I wanted to talk about. The reason I was laughing at the beginning is that I'm backing out of my driveway in my neighborhood, and I see my next door neighbor. I mean, we live in a very isolated, I live in a very isolated neighborhood. Houses are far apart, lots of trees, and she's wearing a mask outside. It's about a sunny day in September. I mean, I don't think a mask should be worn anywhere, but certainly not outside. But that's how deep this propaganda push is. Probably the best quote, I think, that really nails the whole corona scam-demic, plandemic about as well as any quote, because it encompasses so much of what this propaganda push has been about, led by, Bill Gates, the WHO, UN, CDC, and Trump Meister is their secret cheerleader. But the quote's by William Casey of the CIA. And he said, "We will know that our disinformation program is successful when everything that the American public believes is false." The other thing that Mike Pompeo, who now is Secretary of State, he was the CIA head not too long ago. I don't know how long he's been at the State Department, or head of the State Department. And I called him, by the way, just as an aside, Pompeo, Elliot Abrams, and John Bolton, who's no longer with us, at least, in the administration, I called them the Troika of Tyranny. And that was my way of getting back at this nonsense of the Troika of Tyranny that they've used as a battering ram to... You see, the war on terror narrative lasted about 20 years, and boy, did they get a lot of juice out of that. And now that has metamorphosed, or phased, whatever the word is, it has shapeshifted into the corona scamdemic. And I'll tell you what, like evolution and like the war on terror, people are biting off on it. Hence, my neighbor wears a mask on a beautiful fall day in South Dakota, where I'm not sure if we've lost one person under the age of 70. And of course, the recovery rate is like it is for a flu or a cold, but that doesn't matter. You just watch these bulldozers digging mass graves in New York, and if the boogeyman don't get you, the corona will. I'm going to make another video because this neighbor thing just kind of it was in my face, you have to be kidding me. And she's a nice person. Aren't we all nice people though? Is that, of course, there again, that's the American criterion for a good human being. If they're nice, they're good to go. Of course, on Judgment Day, when every one of us will appear before the judgment seat of Christ, I will guarantee you that if you plead innocence, i.e. that you were a nice person, and by that self-designation you are worthy to enter into the kingdom of God, Jesus will answer you with the biblical expression, "Depart from me, you worker of iniquity, for I never knew you." And you think, man, that's awful harsh. to say to a nice person that's been a good, nice person their whole life. Well, from a human standpoint, I agree. But I'm not God, but I do know His Word, and I do know that, as Proverbs says, that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And of course, we lack all proper fear for God. And also, in lacking fear of God, the proper fear, we also lack love for Him. We lack both, and that's why we're in the, oh, here we go. Here's a person driving in their closed-up vehicle with a mask on. So what this was going to be about was the second wave of the propaganda push. It's not the second wave of of the real virus. Like, it's not like suddenly, oh, this virus has been hiding out all summer under the bed sheets, under the bed, in our beach towels, and now it's coming back with a vengeance because all you people thought it was okay to go swimming and go on boat, go for boat rides and have barbecues and assemble together at outdoor concerts. Boy, now we're really paying the price. Here it comes, baby. Here it comes. And I'm telling you, what's coming is not an actual pandemic. What is coming is the Scamdemic Part 2, authorized and promoted by the mainstream media. Have a good one, Steve from South Dakota. Thank you.